Assalamu alaikum, adab. Hello, my dear student of class 10. Welcome to Chattogram Government High School online class. Today I am going to share my idea, share my view with the student of class 10. That means who are the examinee of 2022. The online classes and assignments are going to keep by the government, and a lot of online classes are also arranged by your authority, and government also has taken some initiatives by Shamshad TV and any other kind of online TV. So I think to cope up with the new situation, you have to be very attentive to online classes. You know that the present situation is going to be worse day by day. The death toll are rising everywhere in the country, and I think your school will not be open before very soon. So you have to depend on online classes or any other sources. Okay, my dear student. So never try to neglect online classes. And so I'm going to request all of you to be attentive to my class, today's class. And please collect your khata and pen, please. Then whenever you find something important, never forget to write down. Okay, my dear lovely boys, can I go through my class? Okay, fine. Today, I'm going to introduce myself first. And you know that my name is Muhammad Abu Tahir, and I'm an assistant teacher of Chattogram Government High School. Today, I'm going to conduct a class with the students of class 10, and the subject is English first paper. The topic of English first paper is taken from your short syllabus. So I think you would be benefited by the class. Okay, my dear boys, very fine. Now let me show the topic of your class for today. At first, you can see on the screen your colorful books, English for today, class for 9 and 10. And I'm going to conduct the class on, that means I have taken the topic from Unit 12, Lesson 3, and the title of the lesson is The Return of the Native. The Return of the Native. Okay? Please, you should collect your book and open page wherever you see Unit 12, Lesson 3. Okay, my dear boys? Can I go next? Very good. Now, look at the screen. There is a picture. Can you see? Can you tell me who is the man? I think many of the students don't know who is the man. Okay, fine. Now I'm going to show his name. This is Petrarch. Who is Petrarch? Or who was Petrarch? Do you know? Okay, I'm going to help you. I think you all know about sonnet. Sonnet, that means a pitch of poems. That means a kind of poem that which have 14 lines. And in every line, there are 14 letters. That is sonnet. And Petrarch is the called the father of sonnet. So now I'm going to show another picture, then you can easily understand why I show the picture of Petrarch. Now look at the picture. Who is he? Okay, fine. Michael Madhusudhan Dutt, the renowned poet of Bengali literature, and he wrote the first epic in Bengali literature, that is Meghnath Pod Kabya. In Bengali, Meghnath Pod Kabya. Yeah. Now let me show what is sonnet. A sonnet means a poem of 14 lines using any of a number of formal rhyme schemes, in English typically having 10 syllables per line. In Bengali, you can see a Kaputashkonath, a poem about Kaputashkonath, that is a sonnet in Bengali. That means it is written by Michael Madhusudhan Dutt, and he followed the poem. He wrote the poem following Mr. Petrarch, and I also told that Petrarch is called the father of sonnet. Okay, Petrarch, Italian poet. So Petrarch is the father of sonnet, and in Bengali, Michael Madhusudhan Dutt wrote sonnet like Kaputashkonath, and for this reason, Michael Madhusudhan Dutt is very remarkable. Okay, and his role becomes remarkable in Bengali literature, and he is the first epic writer of Bengali literature. So Michael Madhusudhan Dutt is a famous poet, is a renowned poet of Bengali literature. And before going through my class, I'm going to give some information about Michael Madhusudhan Dutt. Michael Madhusudhan Dutt converted to Christianity, and he went to France, and he started writing in English literature. But the people of the English people couldn't appreciate him, so he returned to his motherland, that means India, and started writing in Bengali. Then he became famous. Okay, so that is the return of the native. That means he had to return his own country and started writing in his mother language. Okay, so we can say that a tree has a root and it is visible. We can see the root of a tree, that is visible root. But we have roots what are invisible, that is our own homeland, own motherland, etc. So Michael Madhusudhan, the life of Michael Madhusudhan Dutt learned us and taught us that we shouldn't have to forget our root. Okay, my dear student. Now go to next slide and look at the learning outcomes. After completing the lesson, what outcomes, that means what result we have, I'm going to show. Number one, students can understand about their roots. That means you, the lovely boys of class 10, can understand about your roots. And number two, you can have knowledge to love your own birthplace. It is very important. We have to love our own birthplace. And number three, students will work for their motherland. That means you will work for their motherland. You must work for their motherland. You will be able to answer the questions, and at last, you can express your feelings about your country as well. You can express your feelings about your country. That means what patriotism you bear, then you can express it after reading, after uh, listening, after completing the lesson. Okay, my dear boys. Now, come to the next point. I'm going to show some new words for you. A lot of words uh, are given in this passage. That means a lot of words should be showed. At first, I'm going to show new word one, that is sophisticated. Sophisticated, the word is, and it is an adjective word. The parts of speech of the word is adjective, and the meaning is ahead in development. Ahead in development, and the synonyms are classy, elegant, etc. Or we can give an example like this. In this chaos, Runa had invited her sophisticated brother. Okay, I think you should write down the word, new word, and their meaning, synonyms, examples, etc. Okay, have you finished writing? Very good. Now, new word number two, the word is adolescence. It is a noun, and the meaning is the time period between the beginning of puberty and adulthood. The synonyms are teens, youth, puberty, etc. Example, in adolescence, I felt alone and misunderstood. It is a period of time between the beginning of puberty and adulthood. And many of our children like you, that means in 9 and 10, you are crossing now the adolescence period. So you should, you must understand the word, and most of the time you feel alone and misunderstood. So this is adolescence. Okay. Now, new word number three, that is ardent. It is an adjective, and the meaning is very enthusiastic or passionate, and the synonyms are keen, passionate, enthusiastic, etc. And the antonym half-hearted. I also show here the antonym for the word ardent. Okay, please write down. Now, go next. New word number four, intellectual. Intellectual, it is an adjective, and the meaning is relating to the intellect. And synonyms are mental, cerebral, cognitive, etc. An example is his interest in art was evidently intellectual. In this word, the first letter, that means H, should be capital. Okay, do it please. Intellectual can be used as a noun, and the people, wise people, are called intellectuals. Okay, my dear boys. Now, go next. Number five, word number, new word number five. That is sojourner. This is a noun, and the meaning is a temporary resident. The synonyms are foreigner, wanderer, settler, etc. And the example is, he is a sojourner of that village. He is a sojourner of that village. Okay? These are the new words of this passage. Now, my dear lovely boys, there is the page, and the first page is shown on the screen, and you can look the second, that means the rest of the passage, also in the right side of the screen. The total passages are also shown here. So please listen to me very carefully, and I'm going to read the passages. Okay? Can I start now? Very good, my dear boys. Lesson 3, the return of the native. Read the following text. Michael Madhusudhan Dutt, popularly known as Madhusudhan, was a celebrated 19th century Bengali poet and dramatist. So, what was he? He was a poet and dramatist. He wrote a lot of drama. Yeah. He was born in Shagordari on the bank of Kapotashko River, a village in Keshapur Upazila under Jeshore district. Again, I am going to say he was born in Shagordari on the bank of Kapotakshu River, a village in Keshapur Upazila under Jeshore district. Okay? Can I go next? Fine. From an early age, Dutt aspired to be an Englishman in form and manner. That means he wanted to be an Englishman. He was very keen, interested to be an Englishman himself in form and manner. Though he was born in a sophisticated Hindu family, I also gave the meaning of sophisticated in my new words. So I think you can easily understand. Though he was born in a sophisticated Hindu family, he converted to Christianity as a young man, much to the ire of his family, and adopted the first name Michael. That means after converted to the Christianity, he adopted the name Michael. Yeah. In his childhood, he was recognized by his teachers as a precious child, valuable child with a gift of literary talent. That means he had literary talent in his childhood. His teachers also recognized, identified. His early exposure to English education and European literature at home and his college inspired him to imitate the English in taste, manners, and intellect. And he was very interested to imitate them, the Englishman, English people. Okay, fine. Since his adolescence, he started believing that he was born on the wrong side of the planet. Oh, what a peculiar idea he had. As a young boy, he started believing that he was born in the wrong side of the planet. That means he was not pleased about his birth, that his society was unable to appreciate his talent. He also believed that the West would be more receptive to his creative genius. And that was the error, that is the mistake of Madhusudhan Dutt. Okay. Madhusudhan was an ardent follower of the famous English poet Lord Byron. He was the follower of Lord Byron. So, after adopting Christianity, he went to Europe and started composing poems and plays in English. They showed his higher level of intellectual ability. Though he had intellectual ability, it is a higher level of intellectual ability, but English people, English society didn't appreciate him. However, he failed to gain the right appreciation. Look, though he had higher level of intellectual ability, he failed to gain the right appreciation. To his utter frustration, he found that he was not esteemed as a native writer of English literature. Out of his frustration, he composed a sonnet in Bangla, Kaputashkonath, which earned him huge reputation in Bangla. Then he realized the theme that he should have to write in Bangla, not in English. So when he wrote his first sonnet in Bangla, that means Kaputaksha Nath, he earned huge reputation. Gradually, he could realize that his true identity lay in Bengal and he was a sojourner in Europe. Afterwards, he regretted his fascination for England and the West. He came back to Bengal and devoted himself to Bangla literature from this period. He has written the first Bangla epic, Meghnath Bad Kabiyam. Can you understand? He was the first epic writer of Bangla literature, and it was Meghnath Bad Kabya. Can you understand? The source is taken from Wikipedia. That means the passage is taken from the Wikipedia. So I think you have a clear picture about Madhusudan. That means at first he devoted himself to write in English, but after his failure, he had realized his mistaken, and he started writing in Bangla, and he became famous as well. So we can say that after returning his root, he became famous. So we should care about our roots. What is our root? We shouldn't remember it. Can you understand? So my dear student, now I'm going to give some exercise so that you can understand whatever you like, understand the passage or not. Okay, that is exercise number 1. Look at the filling the gaps, get information gap. Read some more information on Madhusudan. Make questions for those statements. That means there are some sentences are given as answers. You have to write the questions. Okay. Now, and the second, look at the first one. I'm going to give the answer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 questions are given here. That means 10 sentences are given. You have to write the question. The first one, he introduced Amitrakshar Chanda, the blank birds in Bangla literature. So what will be the question? Look at the question. What did he introduce in Bangla literature? Okay. Now, number 2, look at the sentence. Madhusudan passed most of his European days in Versailles, France. That is Versailles, France. Okay. So what will be the question? Can you say me? Can you tell me? Okay. Now look at my answer. Where did he pass most of his European days? Now you have to do this. Number 3, his days in Europe were full of hardship. Write down. Can you write down? Okay. Now look at my answer. 1, 2, 3. How were his days in Europe? Number 4, it was unbearable to him as he had to suffer extreme poverty. What will be the question? Tell me, please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Why was it unbearable to him? Number 6. It was Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar who helped him to pay off his debts and return to India. What will be the question? Write down, please, and tell me. Okay. Have you finished writing? Very good. Who helped him to pay off his debts and return to India? Number 6. Madhusudan married twice. While living in Madras, he married Rebecca McTavish of English descent. What will be the question? How many times did he marry? And did he marry in Madras? Okay. Later he married Henrietta Sophia White, who was also ethnic English. Question, whom did he marry later? Okay. Number 8, his second marriage lasted until the end of his life. How long did his second marriage last? Number 9, Madhusudan and Sophia had a son, Napoleon, and daughter, Sharmishta. What is the answer? What is the question? What will be the question? Can you tell me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Have you finished writing? Good. How many children did they have? And the last, Madhusudan died in Calcutta General Hospital on 27 June 1873, 3 days after the death of Henrietta. Okay, what will be the question? Now, when and where did he die? Okay, my dear student, can you realize now? Okay, fine. Now I'm going to exercise number 2. So you have to make the answer first. Exercise 2. There is a table here. Write notes about Madhusudan under following heading. 1 is done for you. 3 columns are given here. Madhusudan as a man, Madhusudan as a poet, attitude to his roots. The answer is given here as the Madhusudan as a poet. Right, look at the answer. Celebrated 19th century Bengali poet and dramatist. You have to write down rest too. Number 1, Madhusudan as a man. You have to write down, please. Okay. Have you finished writing? Now, let me give the answer and see it. He had a strong will to imitate the English. Attitude to his roots. What will be the answer? He could realize that his true identity lies in this Bengal. Okay, these are the answers. I think after listening my words, after doing my class, now you can easily answer the questions what I will give as homework. Okay, now let me give some homework to you. My dear student, write down in your Khata notebook, homework. What will be the homework? Answer the following questions. 5 questions are given here. You have to write down the questions. That means make the question of your own. Please never try to help, never try to take help from your parents or your teachers. You should write the answers of your own. That means you yourselves make the answer and show it to your teacher when your school will open. Number A, since his adolescence, he started believing that he was born on the wrong side of the planet. What does it try to say about that? Number B, what was the impression of Dutt's family on his conversion to Christianity? Number C, how was Dutt's higher level of intellectual ability exposed? Number D, what was the impact of Kaputaksho Nath? Number 5 and E, do you think Michael Madhusudan Dutt was a successful poet? Why or why not? If your answer is why, then you have to write why he is successful. And if you don't agree with uh, as he is a successful poet, so you should write why not. Explain in 2 or 3 sentences. Okay? So these are the homework. Now I think I have to leave now. I have to say thanks all and goodbye. Before leaving, I want to remember all of you that you have to follow the rules of health and hygiene, and you don't or never try to go out from your home without wearing mask. Okay? So I'm going to say again, bye-bye. Thank you, everybody.